Hey guys, it's Bob Morreale here with the Tuning School, and on today's Tech Tuesday, we're going to teach you how to drag race, so stick around. Hey guys, welcome back. So today is part one of a two-part series that we're going to run on drag racing. So we get a lot of tech support tickets here at the Tuning School. Some of them are related to tuning, of course, and other times people are asking general questions about drag racing. And so, in order to help everybody a little bit further, we've got some basic stuff on how to drag race properly. So number one, we're going to educate you on what to do kind of before and when you get there. And number two, what to do so you don't screw up the drag strip for everybody else. All right, so let's get started. Number one, anybody can drag race and you can bring any car or truck that you want to the drag strip. But we would request, especially guys that rent cars, make sure you turn off your air conditioning before you actually go to the line, okay? So keep that in mind. Just turn off the AC as soon as you get there because the water drips from the bottom of the vehicle, obviously, and then you track it to the line. And then other guys like us get to the drag strip behind you and we get up to the line and we have a crappy run because you've brought water to the line. So first off, please turn off your air conditioning. Just keep that in mind. Typical rookie mistake. All right. So number two, helmet, pants, and sneakers. Bring something like that. Do not show up in shorts. Usually you'll need a helmet if you're running 13s or faster. That excludes most of your 4s. Just kidding. It's okay. All right. So make sure you bring helmet if you need it. Pants are usually required for every type of drag strip I've ever been to, and closed-toed shoes. All right, also, let's move to the vehicle. If you're going to the drag strip for the first time, I highly recommend you just run on your street tires, okay? Everybody has some glorious idea that they're gonna run some 9-second pass. That's just not gonna happen, even if you have a 9-second car. It's usually driver that needs improving, not the car, okay? So when you go to the drag strip for the first time and you have your street tires, let's talk a little bit about getting to the burnout box, okay? When you're on your street tires, what you need to do is don't drive straight through the burnout box. Go through the middle where there is no water and then back into the burnout box. Again, the reason for this is when you're on street tires, you do your burnout, you're gonna be not going through the box so you don't track the water to the line with your front tires. So you can back into the burnout box, do your burnout, and then slowly pull forward and you'll be fine and you won't track water to the burnout box. Alrighty, so next, let's say that you have done your burnout and you've now crept forward to the line, to the starting line. So you're gonna creep up to that tree and you'll notice there's two beams. If you look down in the middle of the drag strip there's a box and there's two laser beams. The first beam, when your front of your car trips that, illuminates the very top yellow set of lights. So you'll want to get to that and then very slowly creep up to the next one, which is only inches apart. So once you trip that second beam, the second set of yellow lights comes on. That cues the operator that you are ready. Now your opponent is going to do the same thing. Once both of those yellow lights are tripped, he's going to push the trigger on the tree and the tree is going to start counting down. Your job at this point is to be ready to watch for that very last yellow bulb before the green. Do not wait for the green light to go, you will lose. The concept is if you leave on the very last yellow light, it takes some time for you to push the pedal, for the vehicle to start moving, so that when the light turns green, you're already moving. Now this leads us into what's called your reaction time. You want to get a perfect reaction time. You don't want to leave too soon, you'll do a red light. That means you left before the light turns green. But you want to leave just as that light turns green. Okay, so if you do that, you'll have a much better shot at winning the drag race. Now, let's kind of walk ourselves through the rest of the run. Now that you've gotten yourself down and out of the hole, as we call it, you're beginning to go down through the quarter mile. You run through the first eighth of the mile, which has a lot to do with the torque output of the engine. So if you have a very torquey engine that doesn't make much horsepower, you may notice that you take off real well, but the engine kind of falls off and the car doesn't really accelerate as hard on the top end. You'll have a good eighth mile time, but not a great quarter mile time, which you'll see reflected in your time slip, which is actually the topic of the next Tech Tuesday video. We'll go ahead and explain that in detail. So as you're going through the 8th mile and you keep it pedal to the metal all the way to the finish line, you'll see the drag strip's finish line is usually painted on the ground. You'll then slowly come to a crawl and then exit as you're going down the return road back to a shack. There's usually some type of a shack where they have a timing shack, that's what it's called, and they will give you a time slip. Once you get this time slip, continue on, find your pit, and review your time. Now keep in mind, there's a whole lot of things you can do to improve your quarter mile time, but oftentimes guys try and fix the car first. But if you're a beginner at the drag strip, just keep this in mind. Usually the car is not the problem. Yes, you can tweak the car a little bit, but the reality is you as the driver will make the very best improvements that you can. I've taken a car from running mid-13s all the way down to mid-12s without changing one thing on the car, and it all had to do with me, the driver, my preparation, my launch procedure, how hard to launch the car, how not to spin the tires. All these things add up. So before we close this video, let's do a quick overview. You've gone through the quarter mile, you've got your time slip, and the quick review is this. I'm going to look at my ET and mile per hour. Now the ET stands for elapsed time. That tells you how quick the car was and how quickly it got through the quarter mile in seconds. And the last thing you're going to review is the mile per hour. That tells you how fast the car is. And that is also in, obviously, mile per hour. Be sure to check out our next Tech Tuesday, where we talk about in detail the time slip results and how it relates to tuning your vehicle. So thanks for watching, and for more high performance tuning knowledge, be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on social media. And as always, stay tuned.
If y'all enjoyed this video, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, check out these other awesome videos, as well as these products and our website.